Okay. I think I'm live. I don't know how to set this thing up. All right, y'all. When can I set it up like this? All right. So, welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Because I want to be able to drink my little coffee too. Okay. I can sit like this. I can sit like this. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Coach Jay here. Yeah, I gotta take a bite of my croissant. I gotta do that. Can y'all hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Put a 1 in the comments if you can see me, if you can hear me okay. I just have to take a bite of this little croissant. Okay. Welcome to the live. Okay, that's all I need to do. I just need to take a little bite. Let me know at any point in any time during this live if I'm buffering, if I'm not clear. Let me know, okay? I won't know until somebody says something. I really need to stand for this. Yes, I do. And I'm going to get one today. Okay. So, welcome to the live. I hope everyone had a beautiful, beautiful holiday. Hello, Camille. Hello, Sheena. Hello, Bridget. Hello, AOL. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anybody else is hopping on? I know it's been a minute since I've been live. I was battling a major stomach bug the other day. But I am fine. I had to rest up. You know, sometimes the body keeps score, so it's, sometimes you got to get your rest. Okay, y'all know me. I don't rest until I'm asleep, basically. But as you can see, it is December 28th. Hey, Danielle, welcome. And we have just a few days left in this round, right? We have a few days left in this round. I'm going to turn this car off so it won't be a distraction, the engine. I'm waiting on my daughter to come on so we can go and run our errands today. And I have exchanged trucks. I have my male friend has my car and vacuuming and detailing it, and then I have his truck. So I'm not flexing at all. Okay. But I'm saying that if you see me and it's like, look kind of different from Jay's car, then, that's what it is. Hey, Sahana. Hello, Sahana. Okay, so let's just get into the conversation at hand. 2025 is in a couple of days. I need y'all to get serious about your life. I need you to get serious about your growth. I need you to get serious about your development. I need you to get serious about you. Stop letting people play with you. Stop letting people play with your emotions. Stop letting people play with your work. These companies are closing up. People need to understand, especially women. I need y'all to get this. And you are more than welcome to tag somebody in this video if you feel led to. But I need you to understand principles. Okay? I need you to understand principle. I need you to understand systems. I need you to understand changes. Okay? Y'all gather? Are you with me? Are we on the same page? Am I freezing? Sahana was the last comment, so I don't know if y'all with me or not. I know there's a little lag in the video, but we're gonna keep it moving. Be sure to heart this video on YouTube. So let's talk about principles. Okay, let's talk about principle. Let's talk about the need to understand changes. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. When it comes down to changes, people get upset about changes. People get emotional about changes. People cry about change. They don't like change. But changes are a part of the principle. Change is the only constant. Okay? Every year, there are 365 days per the system that was set before we entered into this realm. Seasons are principle. There are changes in the principle. But it's constant. You already know we're in winter season. I ain't got no coat. I didn't even get no winter boots. I ain't got no clothes. But you knew that winter was coming. I don't got no earmuffs. And I haven't been taking care of myself. You knew winter was coming. I don't, I don't understand. I don't have my swimsuit and I ain't got my summer clothes and it's gonna be hot and but you knew summer was coming, right? So changes happen. But when you understand principle, you can prepare better. Jay, so guide me to principle. Help me with principle. Help me to understand principle. When it comes down to principle, it's a law that and something that don't change. Okay? It don't change. It don't change because you're sick. It doesn't change because you're black. It doesn't change because you're a woman. It doesn't change because you're a mother. It doesn't change because some man ruined your credit. It doesn't change because you got trauma. It doesn't change because you're white. It doesn't change because you're Latina. It doesn't change because you're Christian. It doesn't change because you decide to be spiritual, or you decided to deconstruct, or you decide to be vegan, or you decide to be a fruitarian. It don't change because of any of those things that you decided to do or you decide to go through or that you have been through with or without your consent or your control. Do you understand? Are you following me? Principle gonna stand no matter what happens. Pandemic, plandemic, post-demic, epidemic, it don't matter. Social media, companies closing, companies branding, all of these things. Y'all got to talk back to me. Do y'all follow me? Y'all with me? You got to let me know that you're with me because this, I'm on the phone, so I don't know if it's freezing or not. You got to understand principle don't change because your life goes through a thing. Okay? You got to be ready for the changes because you understand principle. I'm trying not to get too buck on here. So when we think about changes, okay, when we think about changes, oh my gosh, like my sales are not, principle. You know that there's an up, down, and a down. There's ups and downs in business. There's cycles in business. When there's a downward cycle, that doesn't mean to close your business. We already know principle is in business is that you have to sell to keep your business alive. You have to market to keep your business alive. You have to have good customer service, and client support to keep your business alive. You have to continue to be visible to keep your business alive. We don't care about your introversion. We don't care about your fear of being seen. It's principle. You got to get over this. So they ain't got nothing to do with anything. It's at the end of the day, it's principle. Sunrise and sunset happens every single day without fail. God is principle. The creator of the universe is principle. Are you following me? That'll never change. The universe has principle embedded in it. There's cycles. There is a rotation of ages. There is a rotation of the solar system. There are planets. There are shooting stars. There's new black holes. There are things going on in the atmosphere. There are the firmament. There's waters. We know that all of this is principle. Water turns to steam when you put heat to it at a certain temperature. It turns into steam. Principle. When water hits a certain degree in terms of Fahrenheit, water turns into solid, which is called ice. Principle. That is something that is constant. I don't care how much you want to manipulate. So if we understand the sunrise, sunset, if we understand seasons change, which is principle, right? We understand that here in North America, right? We're in winter. In South America, it's summer. That's principle. So why don't you understand that? Why don't you understand that? Why don't you understand that principle is constant? It's embedded. It's law. Why don't you understand that? It ain't got nothing to do with your feelings. It's principle. God is no respecter of persons. Oh, and this cancels out the whole uh uh um how she get how she how did she get that Mercedes, and how she get $100,000 in a month, and she don't even like God, and she don't even go to church, and they don't even do this, and they don't even do. How do people run this world? And it because they understand principle. Emotional. They understand principle. You think that this is victimhood. This is all. You think this is about your feelings? You think that somebody got to care about your feelings? That somebody got to care about you? Oh, you don't understand, Coach. I've been through stuff. Principle. You ain't the only one that been through stuff. You got a whole lot of people in this world that's battling way more than you could ever imagine. There's a people that if you heard their testimony, you will be just shaking with your mouth shut, because you can't imagine how in the world are they walking around. I promise you, there are people around here that's writing books that are bestsellers, people that got radio shows and podcasts that are doing eons and eons and eons and oodles of success. And because you are in your feelings, because you want people to understand you, make you feel seen and heard, and understand your situation. Nobody has time to understand your situation because we got to go on. You got to understand principle and systems and the quantum leaps that you have to do in 2025. This is a different season. Companies don't even care about the WARN Act anymore. This is how I know things are changing, because they're shutting up. They're not even giving the 60-day notice that is required to let employees know that they're getting ready to shut down. There are people going on vacation for the holiday season and being notified at the same time as social media that their job is gone. But when you understand principle, you understand that companies can do whatever they want. The systems can do whatever they want to do. You just need a backup plan. You need to allow your emotions to just go through what it's going to go through. And then you pick back up. You don't have that kind of time to sit and wallow and be depressed for the next 5 to 7 business days. You got a company to run. Because see, some of y'all don't understand. I'm 41 years old. I don't have that kind of time to sit and wallow in my emotions and my feelings. I got a business to run. I got a kid that's got to go to college. Y'all with me? Are y'all here? You got to understand that nobody is coming. And I know we have said this, and you've seen so many people say this. Oh, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. You are responsible for your own progress in your own life. Are y'all here? Are y'all here when y'all hear me? And I say that with all the love in the world. You can control only what you can control. That's stoicism. I told y'all a long time ago, you need to start studying stoicism. You need to start understanding the 48 laws of power. You need to start understanding the art of seduction. You need to understand feminine energy. You need to understand when to use masculine energy. You need to understand spirituality is a tool to use. It's not something you sitting in. It's something that you use to get business done here. You got to understand that. If my faith, this is good. If my faith in what I believe in doesn't help me on a day-to-day basis operate in the realm of the supernatural at least 50% of the time, then what am I doing? What does my faith lead me to? To separate me from humanity? To separate me from people that think that I'm better than them, and I'm going to heaven and you're going to hell, and you're going over there and we're going over here, and I'm better than people? No, 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 no. My faith, my spirituality is supposed to help me to get things done here. And if I am not being successful in that right, I got the wrong faith. And I don't care how you feel about that. God is a partner to me. God is not a spirit that allows me to fail. God is a spirit that helps me in principle to master principle. I need to know if y'all with me. I don't know if the comment section stopped working. I don't know if the live is still on. I don't know. Y'all know how I am about, y'all let me know if you still on the same page with me. And if this is in agreement. And I need y'all to get in the spirit of, you got to motivate yourself. You got to get in the spirit of doing, in the spirit of knowing. You got to learn how to get out of that freezing mentality. This is a whole different world we're walking in. I told y'all from 2025 to 2030, this is it, baby. That bridge right there, you in a couple of days, you enter into a new realm. It's going to be a lot of, why God? I hope you're ready for this. You heard it here first. I'm not trying to scare you at all. I'm not trying to say. See, I've done my work. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I told you I am determined to see 2030. I want to see on the other side. And I suggest that you have the same mentality. Because I'm going to tell you this, it's going to get rough between 2025 and 2030. It's going to get rough for a lot of people that don't know how to use their brain. And you heard it here first. It's going to be a lot of, why God? Why God? Why are you allowing this to happen? Why are you allowing this? What is wrong? Like, God, why? It's going to be a lot of that. And it's going to be a lot of how. How is this happening? Why is this going on? God, where are you? It's going to be a lot of that. You think this past year was something. I'm telling you, the system does not operate purely by principle. Let me say that one more time. The system that was created does not operate purely by principle. The system was created. The system was created to oppress some and raise up others. Power, purpose, pleasure. The system was created so the illusion and delusion is amplified in those who follow the system. But in order for you to follow the system, you got to be obedient and you got to be compliant. I'm going to tell you what the system looks like. The indoctrinating systems. Religion. Compliance and control. Obedience. Keeping people in a structured space. Contained space in a contained doctrine that creates an illusion of obedience, of a fathering figure that tells you that you are a child for the rest of your life. To never love yourself, but to love your neighbor. To obligate you to every single week. To put you in a place where you are serving and giving monies to a place. Okay? Now, if you need that for your own soul, that's fine. But you also have to understand that principle does not live in an indoctrinated system. Hold on. Here we go. I'm trying to educate y'all so y'all can understand this. And you do your own research concerning this. You need to do research on all things concerning you without fear. And you got to stop wallowing in fear. Let me cook right quick. When religion is utilized, it suppresses women into an emotional stunted place where you are always a daughter and never a woman. Catch what I just said. You are never seen as a woman of God. You are seen as a daughter. Okay? Now, I know we have WOGs and all of that, but most times it is built around you staying in a child's place where you never, ever take responsibility and radical responsibility for your life. You always blame the devil. You always blame this person and blame this. It has everything to do with choice. Yes, there were some things that probably happened to you when you were young that you had no control over. There were some bloodlines that were blurred. There was some people in your life that got a hold to you before your prefrontal lobe, or that prefrontal lobe cortex was developed. But I'm going to tell you this, you have freedom when you become awakened into yourself. And you have the absolute responsibility at that point of knowing, in the age of accountability, which is the age, it's not at 12 years old. 12 years old is not the age of accountability. Age of accountability is when you wake up and realize who you are. When your eye has been opened. And age of accountability is a lot of people that's grown already. Sometimes the age of accountability don't come until you 18. Sometimes the age of accountability don't come until you 25. Sometimes the age of accountability doesn't come until you're 30. When you wake up, because you got leaps and you got quantum leaps. You got shots and you got speed shots. The older that you get, the less time you have to play by the system. You got to understand system. You don't, woo, Lord, have mercy, help me. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh my God, I don't have any money. I got to go back and get a job. System. It's system. You're going by the way of the system. Faith walker, faith level, spiritual person. I'm freaking out because, oh my God, I haven't made a sale in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do because I'm creating this content and nobody's buying. System. When baby, all you got to ask for the sale. Are you creating content that moves people into something? Are you building relationships? No. Because you want the system to work for you. It's not going to work for you. It's going to always fail for you because you're not operating in the supernatural. Testimony time. Testimony time. And I got so many testimonies, it's not even funny. But I'm trying to tell you that the only way that you're going to be able to operate and succeed in this life, it is taking me everything not to get out this truck and run around this parking lot. You got to understand that the laws of there are natural law and then there's supernatural laws. Testimony time. Back in what year was that? 2010. Because I wasn't divorced yet. 2009. Yep, 2009. That was my first ever remembrance and the first spiritual experience that I ever had where the supernatural was on my side, that I remember and being conscious of it. I was in a PhD program. I was in a doctorate program at that time. Maddie was 1 year old. And I was separated, going through my first divorce. And I remember going to Houston, Texas and I was separated. So I was back in Tennessee. Okay. But I went to it was 2010. It was this thing that I had to go to for my doctorate program. And I made a mistake and left my debit card at home. Okay. I had cash on me, but I didn't have enough cash to last for the 4 days that I was there. And when you don't have, and at that time, that was 2010-ish. So things were still, and I remember going down there and I didn't realize it till the next day that I had left my debit card. So I had to pay for a cab. So back then they didn't have Uber like that. So I had to get a cab from the airport to the hotel. I was fine there. I didn't even notice that my debit card was gone. I got to the hotel. Everything was cool. They let me check in. And I don't know, I got past the whole, show me your credit card and all this kind of stuff because it was already booked. I think I booked it online. I don't know how it happened, but I digress. I got into my hotel room and everything was fine until it was time for me to eat. And that's when I noticed, I was like, I ain't got my debit card. But I said, I didn't even think about looking for it because I thought it was probably another person. I ended up paying for my little pizza. I think I had got a little pizza from Pizza Hut and ordered it and I paid cash. Okay. The next day, I realized that my debit card was nowhere in any of my suitcases, nothing. Okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm spazzing out. Like, what am I going to do? It was probably 5 o'clock that morning. And I just told Spirit, I said, listen, I don't know how I'm going, because I had to get from the hotel to the convention center. And if you're in Houston, George R. Brown Convention Center was where I had to go for my doctorate thing. And I remember saying to myself, I don't know how I'm going to get there because I don't have enough money. I ended up meeting someone in my class. She called me on my cell phone and said, oh, what time are you leaving for to go to the center? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, I'm trying to figure some things out right now. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I misplaced a couple of things. I didn't tell her that my debit card was missing. I didn't tell her I didn't have a ride. I didn't tell her anything. In my mind, I'm thinking like something's going to work out. I just don't know what it's going to work out. I told God, I said, listen, you're going to have to get me to the thing. You have to get me there. I don't know. I don't have any way to get there. And I'm here for a purpose. I didn't pay money to be here. Now, see, this is how I talk to God. I don't know how y'all talk to y'all God. The woman said, well, where are you staying? I told her I was staying at, whatever hotel it was. I forgot what it was, Hilton. I forgot what it was. And she said, well, I'm actually passing there. I could just pick you up if you need a ride. I said, sure. Absolutely. She came back, picked me up. I said, okay, problem solved, but how am I going to eat? I don't have any money to eat. I don't have any, I don't know how we're going to do this. I get there and I said, God, I don't know. And this is me talking in my mind's eye. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to eat. I don't, all this stuff going on. I said, God, fix it. Whatever it is, principle, fix it. I get to the place and I find out that breakfast is covered. Okay, breakfast is covered. I get to breakfast. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, breakfast is covered. I'm good. I'm sitting down. We go through the thing, lunch. I'm like, okay, so now lunch is being served. I ain't got no lunch money. Okay, because lunch you had to pay for lunch. One of the ladies that's in one of my classes was like, oh, Jay, are you hungry? I was like, yeah, I'm hungry, but, I'll probably just, sit out. This is me trying to cover up that I ain't got no money to eat. Okay? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? So I'm sitting there and this girl said, girl, come on. Like, you need to eat something. Come on, eat something. I'll pay for it. I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like, okay, how'd she just say that? Okay, here comes my daughter, but I'm not finished with the conversation. So I get in. Hey, Maddie, I'm still alive, but come on in. You gotta just be quiet. So I come on in. I get the meal. So anyway, I'm eating, and we go back to the convention, and we finish the day out. How am I gonna get back home? How am I gonna get back home at that point? So I'm like, okay, all right, Spirit. I gotta go home. I gotta go back to the hotel. Same woman came and met me. We in two totally different cohorts at this point. Okay. She comes find me. She said, hey Jay, you need to ride back to the hotel. I could take you back. I was like, sure. And I'm like, see, in my mind, I'm like, man, I could have paid for her, her exit ticket to get out the garage. Da 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 da. And I'm like, God, I don't have any money. And so I like sitting there and she just paying for everything. And I'm like, this feels so awkward to me because I'm not used to just people just giving me stuff. I was used to like, oh, well, let me pay for that. Or let me pay for, to get out because you did that for me. You picked me up. Right. And I said, I don't have any cash on me. And I said, but I definitely wanted to, pay for you to get out the garage. She said, girl, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got more than enough money. I'm good. We get to my hotel. She drops me off. I'm telling my mom, I'm like, Mama, you got to send me my debit card. Like, you got to send it to me because I'm not okay. I'm not going to be okay for the next couple of days. My mom's like, okay, I saw it. It's on your dresser, whatever. She said, I'm going to overnight it to you. So she overnighted it to me. Y'all with me? Y'all still with me? I don't know. I can't see the comments. I see Courtney's. She said, yep, it just hit me at 35. That's the last comment. So I ended up like just winging it for the night because obviously I was like just sitting there, looking at TV, all this stuff. And I'm like crying because I'm like, how am I going to get there the next day? So I'm worried at this point, not understanding. I just prayed a supernatural prayer, right? Next day, somebody else, one of my other classmates, tells me that I saw the day before. She was like, "Hey Jay, do you need a ride to the center?" I was like, "Yes, I do. I would love a ride. If it's not too much trouble." She was like, "Okay, we'll come back pick you up because I got to pick up so and so, and she's coming with me." Da 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 da. I was like, "Sure." They pick me up. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank God." I'm like, I still ain't got no money to eat with. Da 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 da. And I'm sitting in. Breakfast was covered. I'm eating breakfast, talking to a couple of people, and I'm listening to their stories of how they got there and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, wow, like people just come from all parts of the world. That was fine. We get into the lesson, in the cohort, all is well. Lunchtime comes. It's getting ready to come. All of a sudden, we had break time before we had to go to lunch, by the way. Ended up, this white woman comes to me. Older white woman. This she had to be like in her 60s at that time. Now, remind you, I'm like in my 20s. So Maddie was 1. So I was like 25, 26 around this time. She comes to me and she said, "Can I talk to you out here in the hallway? We won't break." And I said, "Sure." I'm like, "Who is this lady? Like talking to me?" Mm-hmm. So she said, "I've been watching you since yesterday." And she said, the Holy Spirit told me to give you this. She took my hand. I opened it up and I'm like, "What is she?" She was like, she opened it up and she did her hand like this. And she said, "Please do not reject this." She said, "I don't know why Spirit is telling me to do this for you. I don't know what's your circumstances. I don't know what's your problem, but God has been putting it on my spirit to give you this, and please don't reject this, okay?" She said, "Because if you reject it, and you can't give it back." She said, "Because this is my blessing to you. Like I want to be blessed, but this is for you." And she did my hand like that and she covered it up. Like I couldn't see what it was. I'm like, "Okay, I feel it." I said, "Okay, thank you." And so she said, "Have a good day." She went on. She went on. And that's the crazy thing. I ain't see her no more that week. I ain't see her no more. I went to the bathroom like, what is she giving me? I went into a stall, opened my hand up, and it was $100. It was $100 in cash in 20s. I immediately cried. Immediately started crying. And I was like, what in the world is I just kind of I remember sinking into the stall like, what just happened to me? I go to lunch and it was 3 black girls that I was in class with as well. I'm telling them the story. I said, "Y'all, she just gave me the money." I was like, "What?" I didn't tell them that I left my debit card at home. One of the girls said, "You know what?" She just went in her purse. She said, "Spirit I want to sow into you too." She said, "Because I feel like you about to go somewhere." She said, "It's like you about to quantum leap." And I'll never forget she said that. She said, "I feel like you're about to quantum leap." That's the first time I ever heard somebody say quantum leap before. She reached down in her purse and she gave me $150 in cash. These are people, by the way, I've never seen before. We just had class together online. Okay? That's when I knew faith was not about my feelings per se, because I was already worried. It was what I needed to get business done. And I needed to believe different than I had been in the past. That's why I said I don't understand how y'all can navigate through stuff without understanding spiritual. You got to be spirit. Ye who are spiritual will win such a one. And people just say, "This girl wrote a check." She said, "I'm writing a check." Another girl writing a check. She said, "I'm giving you," she's spirit. She said, "Let's just sow into her, y'all. Let's just sow into her." Another girl that was sitting there. It was 3 black girls. And this girl named Angela, this girl named Kim, and it was another black girl, and I can't remember her name, but me and Angela still talk to this day. It's 2024, and I'm still connected to her to this day. Kim, back in, 2012, when I moved back to Houston, she gave me her apartment for rent free to stay for 2 months when I moved to Houston for a job in 2012. That was the one that gave me $150 cash. Her name wasn't Kim. Her name was Kelly. I had to remember that. Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you move through supernatural spaces, in supernatural dealings, you don't know who got your back. You don't know who Spirit is telling to come to your rescue. You don't know. You don't know. Because every time there is an assignment for you to go and do a thing, you got to understand that it's done at the moment you said that you're going to do it. This is why sometimes when y'all say y'all got these businesses, is it a spiritual, is the business rooted in eternity? Is the business rooted from age to age? Is the business rooted in principle? Because the universe is principle. Universe means one verse means to turn into itself, to turn inward of itself. The universe operates by principle. You don't have that kind of time. You got a quantum. When my daughter wanted to try out for the cheer team, y'all already know the story. I've told this story probably 2 or 3 times. My daughter wasn't even admitted into the school. She tried out for the cheer team, didn't even know that she was even admitted into the school. She didn't pass the test the first time. She had to pass it again in order to get into the school. Maddie had already made the cheer team that she wanted to she wanted to be a cheerleader for a team and had to be in the school. She wasn't even admitted. But she made the team. Paid for camp. Her daddy was like, what if she don't get admitted, Jay? I said, she gonna get admitted. She's in the school. She's in. Sometimes y'all need a spiritual experience. And you need to be conscious. You need to go back in time and look at some of the miracles that happened in your life because you're supposed to operate that way. That wasn't spontaneous. That is something you're supposed to live by. That when I got that first experience, Spirit said you're supposed to always live like that. When it says, I walk by faith and live by faith, that is not by being a Christian or being a Baptist or being Protestant or being Episcopalian, being Presbyterian. That's denominations. Those are systems. By faith means that when I drive, when I'm walking, when I'm working, it's done. The minute I said it's done. When I saw it in the spirit realm, it was done. This is why I'm not tripping. Bench accounting closed yesterday. I've been using them for about 2.5 years. I first used them in 2021. I took a break from them and I started using them again. I didn't get a warning. My bookkeeper actually reached out to me right before Christmas and said, Jay, have a great Christmas. I will see you in the new year. I was like, you know what? Have a great Christmas. You too. I hope you have a great holiday season. That was it. Then I got that abrupt email yesterday. What was it? Yesterday? Yeah. And my sister friend actually told me about it first. And I looked at my email. I was like, I ain't got nothing in my email. I go on the website and there it is. Did I shed tears? Absolutely, because it was some pertinent information that they were doing for me, right? But then I wiped my face and I said, but it's done already. Everything is fine. All I got to do is pick up the pieces, close out the books, and that's just where we at. It's all good. I got to move on anyway. It's not about being hard or, sometimes you got to be. No. You got to pick up the people because I operate by principle. I understand principle. I understand changes happen. So going forward, and I'm getting ready to close this up, going forward into 2025, the only way to operate going into 2030, we are in the fourth industrial revolution right now. We've been in it. But some of y'all got to catch up. You need to understand skills. You need to understand your emotional bandwidth. You need to stop giving space and time to people that don't matter. You need to start focusing on your household. You need to start focusing on anointing your household. You need to start doing the best you can with fruits and vegetables. You need to start praying over your food, because supernaturally you can extract those impurities out. See, the world wants to poison you to keep you going to the doctor, to keep you sick, to keep you stressed, to keep you emotionally off. Pray over your food. Pray over your food. Command your food to purify right there as you speak over it. Your voice is enough for you to cast out things from your food. Do you not understand that? Your voice is enough to cast out poverty from your household. Your voice is enough to cast impurities from reaching your household. Do you understand? Not only your voice, your mind and your belief systems must go after your voice. It has to support what your voice is. So the authority in your voice has to be a little bit more powerful than it was last year. Stop speaking ill will over your life. Stop speaking ill will over your mind. Command your mind to think. Command your body to get well. Command your mind to think straight. Command your mind to focus. Everybody in your life, if they are not adding value to your life, they are taking away value. And you don't have that kind of time. You're too old for that. You're not a child anymore. You're not a little girl anymore. You got to grow up. This is you and God in this next season. It's just you and God. Everybody else is along for the ride. Either they're supporting you, and if anybody is speaking ill will, don't come over here with that. I don't care, husband, fiance, wife, a girlfriend, best friend, God sister, a spiritual mother. If anybody's telling you, well, you need to really, I already got this. I'm already on the right foot, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to try to deter you. There's going to be a lot of people that's trying to move you back to what they want you to become. If it's not in the realm of truth of who you are and where you're going, it is an enemy. Cut it off. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm not saying that you're right. I'm not saying anything, honey. If you want to be right, be right. You right. I'm not arguing with you. All of my emotional bandwidth got to go towards where I'm going. You've got to become spiritual. Think above and not in. You got to go through this thing. And through love, through Christ consciousness is how you're going to get there. Okay? I hope this video blessed you. I hope this video penetrated your surface of your skin. This is not because, Coach J just always encouraging me, go do something with yourself. Go do something with what I'm telling you. You've got to take control of your own mind. All right, we're going on. The standard starts on January 6th. Get in the room. We're going on. All right. Love y'all so much. And we'll talk soon. Bye.